Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Gritty Hour. I have a very special guest tonight, someone I'm excited to talk to. I just learned prior to recording that he's an ex-New Yorker living in Florida, expat. But we have Tom Paladino, who is a scalar energy researcher based in Florida. Scalar energy is the fundamental life force found everywhere in the world, space and universe. It originates from the sun and stars. You can correct me, Tom, if I get this wrong. Shai, prana, OM, mana, life force, pyramid energy, or 0-point energy are all synonymous terms for scalar energy. He theorized that all energy in the universe initiates as scalar energy, and that the sun of our solar system and the stars of the universe are the points of origin, the storehouses, if you will, for scalar energy. He further theorized that scalar energy is instructive energy, as the entire universe is instructed by this divine essence. Subsequently, all spiritual, cognitive, emotional, and physical action in the universe is initiated and maintained by scalar energy instructions. Scalar energy provides order in the universe. And to our listeners, now you know why I'm excited to have him on the show. So welcome to the Gritty Hour, Tom.
And a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Oh, it's a pleasure to have you. So, tell us a little bit about scalar energy.
It's fascinating to begin with. I'm a theorist. I work with scalar energy instruments in my laboratory now, and I want to demonstrate those instruments.
Okay.
What's so important about energy? Well, energy dictates nature. What's fundamental in the universe? Energy. Only light, only energy is fundamental. It observes laws of science that are immutable. This is what I like about my work. I'm working at the very real work of nature. I'm working at the command center of nature. Scalar energy allows me to have access, entree, if you will, to nature and to its creation. And I've developed scalar energy instruments that facilitate that. So we're going to speak, this is going to be a talk on technology, but you will see the benefits. The purpose of technology is to improve the human condition, and that's what we do.
Cool. I was going to say, I should have said in the intro, was this developed by Tesla?
Yes. Tesla was the first man to develop scalar energy instruments. If you observe, he had an incredible tower in Colorado Springs, a scalar energy tower. And if you look closely at that instrument, there's no moving parts. It's just a gigantic copper dome that surmounted a tower. And a lot of people didn't quite understand what he was doing. He was capturing star energy. Now, that tower had no moving parts. There were no electrical lines leading into the tower or leading out of the tower. So many people said, well, what are you doing? It's obviously wireless energy. Where's the energy coming from? Well, it's wireless because it's from the energy is from the stars, from the sun.
Right.
This is a key aspect of my work. We're not working with electricity anymore. We're working with free energy. That should resonate with everybody. Free energy will do what? Will transform our lives, will change society.
Right. In addition to the obvious, based on what you just said, what actually caused you to be interested enough to do the research?
Yeah, it was Tesla. He prodded me. He gave me that driving force. I said to myself, this is incredible. Somebody has to follow up with these inventions.
Right.
And I am one of the theorists today that are following up with his inventions. No, it did not stop with Tesla. What Tesla introduced now must proceed forward. Technology changes lives. Technology improves the human conditions. That's what this is all about. So hang on. I'll explain to you how straightforward and simple this is.
Okay. That's what I would like to get into. A little bit of the technological side. I'm not a big techie, but if you could put it in layman's terms.
I'm pointing to one of the scalar energy instruments that I work with.
Okay.
And once again, in that vein of scalar energy, there's no moving parts. There's no motor. The energy is from the sun and the stars. That instrument captures that energy or creates that energy. Let's say it creates it in this local environment. Now, to demonstrate the instrument is working, it's functioning, So strong, I feel the energy on my shoulder. If I were to hold a light bulb up to the instrument would illuminate the light bulb. So
Wow.
much energy is coming off the instrument.
Wow.
So that's an indication that it's a strong force field that's being created. Now, we're going to speak about quantum health. There's thousands of applications. We're going to speak about one application today, quantum health, energetic health. We're not speaking about the human body. We're speaking about the force field or the aura or the energy field that people have. So this is not a discussion of biology. It's a discussion of information. It is a discussion of the energy field that we all carry.
Right.
Now, hold on to your hats. Scalar energy is not electricity. How do I work with people with an energy instrument? I never work with people. I work with photographs of people. I'm going to hold up my photograph. I actually place a person's photograph inside the instrument. If you and I can have a discussion by a computer, as we're doing right now, and I see your image and you see my image, we're sharing images by a computer. I can share an image of a photograph of a person with the instrument. So instead of communicating through a computer, we communicate through photographs.
Interesting.
Okay. Yeah. We're having a discussion telephonically. I can have a discussion etherically or through scalar energy through a photograph.
Wow.
My photograph has my character. Just follow me. This is a source of light. The photograph has embedded in it a source of light, my light, the light of my spirit, the light of my mind, the light of my physical constitution, the light of my emotions, the light of my psychological state, everything. Mm-hmm. In other words, it's possible to look at this photograph of the scalar energy instrument and to decipher my heart rate or my blood tape or my genetic structure. Everything I have as a human being is embedded, encoded on a photograph.
Well, go ahead.
And that's how I access people. I never work with people. I access their force field.
So what is the application?
Yeah.
So if someone sends you a photograph.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. So what does that mean? I take their photograph and I place it in the instrument. I remember I demonstrated how I could illuminate a light bulb. Mm-hmm. Well, imagine if I am placing a light bulb once again close to the instrument. If I can illuminate a light bulb, then if I use that light bulb as a reference, I can illuminate the mind. When I place a person's photograph in this instrument, for 1 hour, I perform what's it's called a brain balancing or chakra balancing. So consider that white light going into the light bulb. That's the identical light that I feel right now. I actually feel my forehead is tingling. I feel that energy.
From holding your picture up to the...
Yes.
Okay.
And other people throughout the world will send me their photographs, and in similar fashion, I'll take their photograph and hold it up to the instrument. I access their brain waves, I access their chakras through the photograph. And again, it's so strong, if it illuminates a light bulb, it should illuminate the mind. And it does.
Wow.
It does. So the upshot is the chakra balancing. After working with people 1 hour a day, people say their depression is lifted. Others will say they can give up cigarettes or computer addiction. Some people say it calms them. This white light, this energy entering into their force field calms them. Others have said that they can get over past trauma. They can come to grips, if you will, come to terms with past trauma. Now, to be very clear, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not qualified to make those judgments or to make those recommendations. The energy corrects the psychology. So we're moving away from chemicals. We're moving away from physical intervention. Mm-hmm. We're working with information to calm the mind, to calm the spirit.
In folks that you've dealt with that sent you their photograph, has there been an instance where they've had a physical ailment that was healed?
Yes, there is. Now, moving on, the instrument does what I tell it to. To answer your question, I have great control over microbes, germs, and I'll tell you why. Mm-hmm. I'm going to hold up a photograph of the herpes virus. So everything I place in this instrument, the instrument will understand its character, its signature. Herpes has a signature, it has a code, it has intelligence. If I place my photograph inside the instrument side by side with photograph of herpes,
Mm-hmm.
the two communicate. We're communicating by Zoom call. These two photographs communicate. If my informational field, if I as a person in my energetic body had herpes, this instrument would find the signal of herpes in my photograph and eradicate it or bring it to a state of chaos.
Mm.
I've proven this, or at least I'll say people have proven this because people have sent me their photograph. They've had the herpes virus. They were infected with herpes for years. After working on their photograph, the people report that they no longer have any symptoms of herpes.
Wow.
Some people go as far as to say, Tom, I followed up with a polymerase chain reaction test, a PCR test. And some of those people say, I feel great. And not only do I feel great, but I have a PCR test that shows no viral load.
Wow.
Now, nobody can prove this. And frankly, I can't prove this according to Newtonian physics. We're not working with people, and we're not working with electricity and magnetism. We're working with force fields on a photograph that nobody can prove or disprove.
Mm-hmm.
So this is still a theoretical branch of physics.
Right.
Secondly, nobody has my instrument. Nobody's duplicated my work. Nobody can prove or disprove what I'm doing. I have to rely upon testimonies, and I have thousands of testimonies on my website. I'm going to hold up one testimony. This is a PCR test from a person who was diagnosed for 40 years with herpes. After working with me, this person submitted their PCR test. There's no viral load for herpes.
Wow.
With no symptoms, no more breakouts, no more blisters. Here's a PCR test for a person who had, likewise, herpes for 30 years. After submitting their photograph, this individual no longer has a viral load for herpes, likewise. Now, to be very candid, everybody who's ever come to me and they've had a viral load for herpes, after working with me, let's say a month or 2 months down the road, they decide to have a follow-up PCR test. Those tests come back negative, so to speak. No viral load. No viral load.
Mm.
And invariably, those people no longer have blisters or outbreaks. Can I explain that? I can only theorize.
Right.
My theory is that working through a person's photograph, not only do I access the person, but I access the herpes virus.
Mm.
And that the photograph carries the information also of the herpes virus, including my blood pressure, my genotype, etc. So this is the easy way. We're not working biologically. We work with the bilocated version of a person.
Right.
A person bilocates to my laboratory. You have bilocated to my laboratory by way of the Zoom call. Mm-hmm. You're obviously in my computer. I can see you. You can see me in your computer.
I got your workshop right behind my head, Tom.
There you go. We're exchanging information telephonically. Why can't you exchange information through the scalar realm? You can. So you actually, if anybody sends me their photograph, they teleport to my laboratory because they are, if you will, their body double, their mind double, their bilocated version is the photograph.
Right.
So I've proved that scalar energy is real. I've proved that I can access their dimension in the scalar energy dimension. I proved that bilocation is real. I've proved that everything has a scalar energy signature, including the herpes virus on a photograph. And I also have proven that free energy, with the free energy instrument, not relying upon satellites or an infrastructure, can deliver information through the universe.
And it goes to the right recipient. That's what's the amazing thing. Now,
Thank you.
Now, what made you come up with the concept of using photography?
I learned that from my predecessor is another inventor by the name of Hieronymus. There was a Hieronymus family in the United States. They're no longer developing instruments. I actually was working with the Hieronymus family in 1993. and they were the initial ones that developed this prototype, and I've modified it. The Hieronymus family was using photographs. We were using Polaroids back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's an emailed photograph or a Polaroid, it works. Okay. So an emailed photograph has a signature. Everything carries energy. This proves that everybody's unique because my photograph is unique to me as unique as my fingerprint. Anyway, long story short, we were using Polaroids back in the 90s. And the Hieronymus family had an incredible success rate with people, animals, and plants. People, animals, and plants were restored to health through their photograph.
Did that family also use Tesla's scale model?
No, I think the inventor, his name is Hieronymus, he was so intelligent, so wise, he was able to develop instruments. He knew of Tesla, but I don't think he was working directly with him, not that they ever admitted to me. So these two men, Tesla and Hieronymus, work independently, and these two genius minds, God was working through them. There's great benefits here. Now, keep in mind, if I can locate a force field on a photograph, then I should be able to locate anything with this instrument. And if I can break down or eradicate or remove a virus, I can do that for any virus or any bacteria. And if I could work with one person, follow me here, I can work with 100 people. Earlier today in my laboratory, I was working with 500,000 photographs. People from
well, exactly. What do you mean? Like, how did you do that? Yeah.
People from around the world are sending me photographs, sometimes group photographs of towns and communities. So
I see.
Over the past 5-10 years, I've amassed so many photographs. And on a daily basis now, after amassing photographs, thousands of photographs every day, today, for instance, I treated 500,000 photographs.
So it doesn't spit out any data. It's just that it's a transfer of energy.
Yes.
From one person to another via the light source.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And I was just curious if you were testing it. Did you ever put a photo of a deceased person on there?
Yes. There's a way that you can test what we call their general vitality, and it's very, very low. So you can tell if somebody's dead because there's no vitality to the photograph. Yes.
So the machine knows that light source.
Yes.
Okay.
Is deceased. Yes.
Or is no longer attached to that individual. Well, the single source, as you mentioned, all the light in the universe. What is the source of that?
It has to be God. Only God can do this. This energy is from the sun and the stars. Who created the sun and the stars? It's God. Right. So this is divine energy. That's why I'm very quick to say this is a new branch of physics. It's not electricity or magnetism. We're not working in a typical paradigm. We're working really in a divine paradigm. This is divine energy. Why? This energy transcends time and space. To be very clear, anytime I work with this energy, I don't need an infrastructure. The infrastructure is the universe.
Right.
So with electricity and magnetism, you need cell phone towers, you need satellites, you need substations. You need a way to conduct this energy to either ramp it up or transform it down, power it down. You don't need that with scalar energy. The ether, what Tesla called the ether, the medium of the universe is the medium. You don't need an infrastructure. So the sun and the stars are the source of energy. The ether or the medium pre-exists. It's free energy with a free infrastructure.
I'm trying to get my head around what you're saying. Would it be similar to like photosynthesis with
yes.
Okay.
The sun gives us information. The sun, once it's incorporated into a plant, that plant undergoes various chemical reactions. The information is from the sun. It's sunlight. Isn't that a great way to deliver information without wires and substations?
Sure. Yeah, it's wild. It is wild. Do you think it has an energy source usable to propel products or propel?
We're going to eventually recreate Tesla's invention. Tesla had a car that ran on scalar energy. He actually took out the combustion engine of a car, and he was able to take in kinetic energy from the stars and operate a car and power a car. Now, doesn't that make a lot more sense to operate a car with star power that's clean, as opposed to gas, as opposed to having to charge an electrical battery?
Right.
The key to this, it's
yeah.
a new way of living.
Mm-hmm.
This is free energy without the consequence. There's no hazard. There's no carbon footprint.
And you don't even have to go to the doctor's office. You just throw it in the mail, a photo of yourself into the mail, and send it to Tom.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to mention another case that we're so happy, and it emboldens us. I'm going to show a photograph of a clinic. This is an HIV/AIDS clinic in Delhi, India. This is the Om Prakash HIV/AIDS clinic. I've worked with over 5,000 people in Delhi, India, who at one time were HIV positive. By the way, I've never been to India. After working with these people tell us that they no longer have a viral load. How did that happen? Well, I can only theorize by taking a photograph of the HIV virus and communicating or downloading the signal of HIV into the photographic force field of the people. I can tell with this instrument that we can pinpoint, identify the HIV virus, and the instrument will eradicate or bring the HIV virus to a state of chaos.
Mm-hmm.
After working with these people, they become asymptomatic. Nobody has any symptoms of HIV anymore. Some of these people have gone as far as to provide us with PCR tests. Here's one of the PCR tests.
Mm-hmm.
After being HIV positive for years,
interesting. Yeah.
this individual has no viral load, and they have no symptoms of HIV.
It's incredible. So just give us a practical walkthrough as to how. So somebody sends you a photograph.
Yeah.
Are you online? Like, how do they know when you're ready to take that photograph and put it into the machine or up to the machine?
We always receive email photographs. We don't use any snail mail. So people go to our website. We have free trials on our website. 24 hours a day, we have a portal ready to take a photograph. Anybody can upload their photograph. They can send their family photographs. And at the end of the day, everything is printed out on a collage for me. Okay? I don't have to do anything. We have an automatic photo upload. Every day
so all of the uploads for the day come out on one sheet. Okay.
Yes, it's all done automatically. So this collage is an example of an uploaded collage of photographs for the day. I then print out that collage on paper, and I immediately place it in the instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And for 1 hour, the first session is chakra balancing. For 1 hour, we send illumination into the mind, into the psyche, into the soul. Okay? 1 hour. Then the second hour, I have a process where I can scan hundreds of thousands of microbes. So hour number 2 is a pathogen cleanse in which I identify the pathogens by their sequence or by their indication, by their signature, and I eradicate that sequence. I eradicate that signature. It's all non-physical now. It's all information.
Right.
And then the final 22 hours, I take photographs of vitamins. This is a photograph of riboflavin. And I place photographs of vitamins and antioxidants and minerals next to my photograph. What happens? We download the information of riboflavin into my quantum field. So I'm not taking orally a vitamin. I'm administering a vitamin through the ether to my force field.
Wow.
It's all information. This is how I receive my vitamins today, through information, through the photographic force field. Mm-hmm. Keep in mind, my photograph is my energetic copy. It's not my biology. It's my energetic copy.
Now, how does the body absorb the vitamin?
It's created inside the force field. Riboflavin is created. You don't have to metabolize. Every instruction, every atomic and molecular structure of that riboflavin is downloaded immediately into my my force field.
Hmm.
So you're not having to metabolize anything. You recreate riboflavin in your force field, in your energy field.
Interesting. Actually crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to get too off the thing. How long did it take you to make that machine, and how much instruction did Nikolai Tesla leave for you to create that machine?
Tesla, he has incredible notes, but you have to really scour the internet to find the right notes. And you have to rely upon Tesla's notes. Don't rely upon interpretation. So to answer
Right.
your question, it took me at least 10 years and just to theorize this back in my 20s and 30s.
Hmm.
Then I met the Hieronymus family in 1993, and they had working models. So I started working with working models, scalar energy working models in the 90s. And then I perfected this technique, working with this energy and balancing the chakras, administering vitamins and nutrients, etc., to the point I'm at today where I will say I can easily work with 500,000 people a day. I'm doing that right now. Eventually, I want to work with 1 billion people a year.
Hmm.
So to answer the question, I've been at this for 50 years. This is my
Wow.
lifetime work. I've been at this my life.
Yeah. Well, actually, I got myself off track. I was going to ask you how, like that collage you just showed me of all the people, like a day's
Yeah,
worth of submissions.
yeah,
How do they know when you're holding that up
that's a
to the
good
machine?
point. So when people email us their photograph, we send them daily email instructions.
Okay.
So we're very precise. We want people to provide their email. They email their photograph in, and then every day we tell them what to expect.
At
So
what
that,
time of the day, too? Like, say,
yes,
I'm putting your photo in the machine at 1 o'clock.
yes. We
Yeah.
always start off on the East Coast. So I always start off the instrument usually 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, and they get an email that time of the day. We explain to people what we're doing so
Hmm.
that people can have an idea, and they're kept abreast of our activity.
Right. So in real time, they could feel the effects of the machine on their photograph.
Yes, precisely.
Using their photograph. Um,
Precisely.
Not to interrupt you yet again, but do you mind if I share your website screen?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because I think people might be interested to learn more about it. So anything that makes my head look smaller, that's why I'm sharing your screen. So this is it. It's www.scalarlight.com, SCALAR light.com. And this is where, if you wanted to try, he has a 15-day free trial right there on the front of the page. If you want to give this a shot. So, what is your daily intake like? How many people send you stuff every day?
Some days I've received as many as 4 or 5 thousand photographs in one day.
Wow.
We have people around the world now. We do a good deal of pro bono work around the world, and some of those photographs are coming from clinics now. And to be quite blunt, these people, they're poor, they're disadvantaged.
Hmm.
So we'll do a lot of pro bono work. Anyway, long story short, if you take group photographs, the photographs add up rather quickly. So, if you will, somebody can walk into a village in Africa and take 20 or 30 photographs in a day.
Right.
A lot of people, they're desperate. Let me be quite blunt. They're desperate.
Right.
So I've assumed as many as 4 or 5 thousand photographs in one day.
Wow. And you can thanks to that idea of collaging it. Is that a word, collaging?
Yeah,
You could scale at
yes,
any length. Yeah.
yes, sir. Now you're going down the avenue I want to address. Today, I work with 500,000 photographs. My goal in the future, you can quote me, I want to work with 1 billion photographs a year.
Wow.
I want to, and it's scalable and it's tenable. We
Right.
can do this. While we
Hmm.
have the technology, all we have to do is have people introduce them to what we're doing, have them sign up for the free trial.
Hmm.
Our website can accommodate 500,000 photographs a day. Why not?
Hmm. Why not try it? There's no risk to trying it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's another. Let
Well,
me
here's
let me
here's your
expand upon
special
that.
offer. Yeah.
Let me expand upon
Yeah.
why are there no risks? We're not working with biology. There's no
Right.
chemicals. You
Right.
cannot have an adverse reaction with your photograph.
Right.
This is not Western medicine. This is a new branch of physics.
And no stitches required. So do you see this being like the future of healthcare
Yes, I
in the
do.
world?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
So
I'll go out on the limb and I'll say, provided I have a photograph of a microbe, I can identify that microbe on any photograph and eradicate it, remove its signal. Because I'm working with light. Light is fundamental. To be clear, there's no human reasoning with this instrument. I work with the laws of science. There's no human input. There's no human reasoning.
right.
The light energy of herpes can be eliminated or brought to a state of chaos through the laws of science. So we don't rely upon human reason.
So when you say the state of chaos, it basically neutralizes the virus in your body.
I believe so. I can't prove that, but I believe so.
Were you up and running during the pandemic?
Yes. And to speak to your audience, during the pandemic, my family and friends were healthy because I have photographs of COVID-19 and I can negate that signal. I had no, I'll speak for myself. I had no problems during the pandemic.
So okay. So you never tested positive for corona, or yeah, that's very interesting. So I did ask you about the future of healthcare. Do you get or anticipate getting any blowback from the pharmaceutical industry?
No, and I'll tell you why. They don't have a leg to stand on. I don't work with people.
Right.
I've never worked with a human being in my life. This is a new and undefined science in which I work with force fields on photographs. Now,
very cool.
Do I anticipate this will be a political dynamite in the future? Yes. But it's never, my work has never been defined. Nobody's been able to duplicate my work. So if you can't define this process, if you don't know what I'm doing, then you can't say that what I'm doing is right, correct, or incorrect.
Sure. Is it copyrightable or trademarkable?
I'm not going to copyright it. I don't, there's a lot of governments in the world I wouldn't trust this with their patent office.
Gotcha. Okay. So
to be very clear, this technology will change the way we live. Imagine free energy. Well, we already have a way to deliver free energy to a photograph without an infrastructure. Imagine free energy, which we can light up light bulbs anywhere in the world.
Right.
This technology will change the way we live. Mark my word, this technology will represent a sea change for mankind.
Yeah, I remember either reading or watching a video about the, I don't want to say fight, but the struggle between Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla. They were around the same time, yes?
Yes, that's correct.
About which way sellable energy was it going to be sellable or was it going to be free?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Edison was a proponent of DC electricity.
Right.
And Tesla showed the merit of AC electricity and he won out. And later in his life, Tesla was so advanced, he wanted to do away with all the physical apparatus, any type of physical device. He didn't want a physical apparatus. He wanted to work with non-physical energy. And he stated that. And later in his career, all of his work was capturing energy from the cosmos. There was no motors later in his career. There was no induction motor. There were no turbines. The turbine is the sun.
In addition to the obvious health benefits of what you're describing, do you see yourself developing anything like that?
Yes.
Yeah.
God gives me the wisdom. I want to be able to illuminate an object at a distance. If I can do that, then I can illuminate any home, any factory, any school, any church.
Yeah, because generally what you demonstrated with the light bulbs, even some that are still in the packaging, you have to hold it right up to it to get the energy off of it.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. So that's a grand leap. You're working on that, huh?
Yes, I am. And we'll accomplish that, hopefully in my lifetime. Yes.
That would be splendid. So you don't see any blowback from, I mean, if this snowballs, where everyone is, you're the go-to guy for any ailment of a lot of people, I could see pharmaceuticals or, hospitals or whatever, wanting to put a kibosh on that.
Yeah. But they can't. First and
Yeah.
foremost, God protects me. And secondly, what I'm doing is perfectly legal. I never work with biological life ever.
Right.
I only work with photographs,
Right. Right.
which is entirely legal.
Right.
Whether it's a photograph that I hold in my hand or a photograph that you have in your photo album, photographs are not illegal.
Well, as someone who lives in a dog town, can that work on pets as well? If someone sends you a photograph of a dog, say?
Yes, I have 2 dogs. I work with them every day. My dogs are germ free. My dogs are healthy.
Have you gotten people to submit their animal? Yeah.
Well, all the time.
And any feedback from them?
Always positive. Always positive. So apparently whatever we're doing with people, the dogs have a similar effect. I work with a kangaroo in Australia. Somebody emailed me a photograph of a kangaroo that had bacterial infection. After a month, that kangaroo felt just super. The kangaroo no longer had a bacterial infection.
Mm.
So, explain that, so to speak. Explain that.
Right.
If you go to the What is Scalar Energy section, we have testimonies there. I want to call that to our audience to their attention.
I don't know if you can see it on your end.
Thousands. I can see it.
Yeah.
We have thousands of testimonies from people around the world. And that the testimonies are the body of evidence. So I want to make this clear. There are no scientific tests for what I'm doing. I don't foresee any scientific tests for what I'm doing in the future.
Right.
It's a new science. How can you test something that is non-physical? How can you test a photograph?
Do you have any input from your peers or
scientists are interested?
Scientists, yeah,
but they've not taken a stance yet.
Uh-huh.
And I think many scientists realize that this is political dynamite.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not forthcoming. They watch me, but they're not ready to make a move.
I see. Yeah, but you've conversed with some.
Yes, I have. Yep.
And what's their general impression?
They said, well, here's the bottom line. They realize I'm working according to the laws of science. There's no human input with my work. I have an energy instrument that broadcasts energy. There's no human interface here. Mm-hmm. So if I achieve these favorable testimonies, it's from the energy instrument working through the energy field on a photograph.
Right.
This is what scientists like. They want to keep it scientific, not emotional. So if I have a scientific instrument, then this is what I've achieved from this perspective of working with energy.
Right. I think we're showing some of the testimonials now. Yeah. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube or Rumble, if you're listening to us, in the show notes will be the website that we're viewing now. So you could just, when you're done listening to this podcast, you could click right on the website. But have you had, I have to be honest and ask you, have you had any negative feedback?
Every once in a while, people have expectations. I can't help everybody.
Yeah.
But what I state on my website, I can achieve. I have protocols, I have programs on the website, mm-hmm. and I can achieve those objectives because I'm working with an energy instrument. So I don't promise the sun. I do promise I have a number of protocols, and I can deliver as per the website, as per my instructions on the website.
Okay. So, someone sends you I'm sure there's people going to watch this or listen to us and be interested enough, because you do have a generous free trial thing available. They're going to email you their photo to you.
Correct.
And you're going to email them when they're going to have their photograph, either individually or through that montage, held up to the thing so they can anticipate whatever they think they're going to get.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Communication is very important to us. We take great strides in communicating with people on a daily basis. We explain the process in that series of emails. Right. And it's really incumbent upon me. It's a new science. I have to explain what I'm doing.
Right. So I'm sure if you're getting if 5,000 people send you their photograph tomorrow,
Yeah.
there's got to be different reasons why they want to do that. I would think that generally they have gone through the whole healthcare system or whatever country they're in, and this is, excuse me for saying it, probably a last resort or a
Yeah, you're
desperate
right.
attempt.
No, I'm not. No,
Yeah, go ahead, say
you're
it.
right. Yeah, go ahead. You're absolutely right. For some people, this is a last resort, and I don't blame them. I don't disparage the medical community. We have brilliant nurses and physicians and brilliant practitioners. The
Mhm.
medical community should be applauded. My work really has nothing to do with medicine. This is a new branch of physics. So if people consider me a last resort, so be it.
Right, right. And then, well, the other question I had was someone may send you their photo that has, as you described, herpes. Someone else might send you their photo that has lung cancer.
Yeah.
Does it matter what they have if they're all going on the same montage, or do you segregate the photos?
That's correct. It is a standardized program. I have to standardize it. If I receive thousands of photographs a day, to be clear, I don't diagnose. This is not a diagnostic tool. It's not medicine. And I treat everybody the same through their photographs. So on a daily basis, the free program that I offer is the chakra balancing, the pathogen cleanse, and then we round it off with the nutrient program.
I see.
Yep.
So you said the second hour is holding up the viruses or
Yes,
whatever.
correct.
How many
No,
of them do you generally do? Most of the most
yeah,
common ones, I'm sure. And
yeah,
how many
yeah.
would you say
To put
go
a
through that?
number to this, I have over my career amassed photographs, micro photographs of over 400,000 species of microbes,
Wow.
germs. So in 1 hour, I can identify whatever microbe a person has. And the number is 400,000 species of fungi, viruses, bacteria, etc.
In that second hour, are you able to, how much of those can you?
All of them,
Wow.
because everything's automated.
That's a pretty amazing system you got
It
developed.
is.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Mm.
You can see how I can miniaturize a photograph just as I can miniaturize photographs of people. I can
Right.
miniaturize photographs of viruses.
Right.
So I have a rather large collection, but since everything is miniaturized and it's automated behind me, in 1 hour, I could scan, interpret 400,000 species of microbes.
Unbelievable. So those of you who are listening, and thanks for letting me share your website. It is www. Is it Scalar? It's
Scalar Light.
scalarlight.com. So www.scalar light.com. I appreciate you letting me share that. So,
Yes, sir.
Tom, one expat New Yorker to another, what do you want to leave our viewers and listeners with?
There's great hope in the world. So always be cheerful, people. Look on the bright side of things. Technology, when used appropriately, can change, transform society. This technology, I want to bring it forward in a peaceful atmosphere, if you will. I want to help people. Please, if this resonates with you, help me get the word out. I'm the only inventor, theorist here, practitioner, researcher, call it what you will. I need help getting my information, my invention out there to the general public.
Oh, the Gritty Hour will throw its 2 cents of promotion out there.
Yeah.
You don't know of any other person working in
No.
this field?
No, nobody has followed up the work of Dr. Hieronymus, my predecessor. Nobody has developed the instrument that I have in my laboratory.
Mhm.
Sadly, and I'm not bragging, I have no peers. I wish I did. I have no peers. Who's going to spend 50 years at this?
Yeah.
You have to be really dedicated. This is visceral for me.
Right.
How many people want to spend 50 years in research?
After 50 years, your curiosity has yet to be sated, which is good.
Yeah, exactly. I have drive. Thank
you. What am I holding behind my head here anyway?
That's my instrument from a bird's eye view. Yeah.
Okay.
But that's a custom built scalar energy instrument. It looks different and it's all machine made. There's only a few parts that I could purchase from a laboratory. Everything else is custom built.
Self-fabricated?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Well, you have all the necessary tools to change the world, Tom.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
At 1 million people at a pop.
Yeah, that would be tremendous. I'm actually looking forward to your work. I think I'm going to try it.
Okay.
And then, with your permission, have you back.
Please
Yeah.
try it. And I want to prove this. That's why I give away the 15-day free trial. Try it. And then contact me back. We'll have a follow-up.
And anybody listening or watching, try it. Give it a shot. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Painless, simple, easy. All you have to do is email a photograph.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable indeed. Tom, it's been a great pleasure. You're a great guy to talk to. I love what you're doing. And I do wish you the best of luck with it.
Thank you. God bless.
All right. And we'll have you back, and I'll tell you that I'm